that's something only fat people get. I'm not worried.
For the disease isn't that bad. All they need to do is take insulin and everything will be okay. It's a common disease held by older people, right? Because they had too much sugar in their diet?
People have had amputations of fingers, hands. People have had toes, feet removed.
And of course it affected my mom because she couldn't see. She ended up in a nursing home.
Cut back on soda, so I turned to drinking carbonated waters, which I found are really, really good.
It came on later in my life. My pancreas still works, but not at 100% capacity.
What diabetes actually is a disease in which the body's ability to produce or respond to the hormone insulin is impaired, resulting in abnormal metabolism in carbohydrates and elevated levels of glucose in the blood and urine. This is due partially because the pancreas no longer produces the natural amounts of insulin that the body needs to fight blood sugar.
Type 1 is rare. About 5% of people with diabetes actually have type 1, and it's more common in whites than in African Americans. Type 1 diabetes happens when your immune system destroys cells in your pancreas called beta cells. They're the ones that make the insulin. Some people get a condition called secondary diabetes. It's similar to type 1, except the immune system doesn't destroy your beta cells. They're wiped out by something else, like a disease or an injury inside of your pancreas. Type 2 diabetes is a long life disease that affects the way your body handles glucose in your blood. Most people with this condition have type 2. There are about 27 million people in the US with it. Another 86 million have prediabetes. Their blood glucose is not normal but high enough to be diabetes. Over time, high blood sugar can lead to dehydration, weight loss, diabetic ketoacidosis, and damage to your body via nerve syndrome.
Yes, I have type 2 diabetes. The illness has affected me greatly. I have diabetic neuropathy, which means the nerves in my body fire off and create pain for no reason. I have diabetic retinopathy, which means I am effectively blind. Diabetes is a terrible disease, but it doesn't kill you. What diabetes does is it affects other parts of your body that you can die from, but no one's ever died of having diabetes.
Okay. Yes, I have diabetes. I have type 2. How it affects my life is I have to read the labels on everything I consume, cut back on soda, so I turned to drinking carbonated waters, which I found are really, really good.
I definitely have diabetes, and it has really slowed my life down. I have very bad neuropathy in my hands, feet, legs, so I don't walk very well or pick up things very well.
Diabetes has dramatically affected my life. It has caused me pain in my limbs, my fingertips, my toes. I went from always being a very hot-blooded and hot-to-touch person to now having ice-cold feeling when people touch my hands, touch my feet. Occasionally, because of this disease, I will get pain in my joints, characterized as arthritic, but because of the nerve damage done to my body by diabetes, it's only affected. It's made it even worse than what it would have been just through normal age and progression.
Well, certainly my whole family's been affected by it because with diabetic neuropathy, I can't get out and move the way I need to. Things that happen around the house, I must rely on, for the most part, my son to come and help us do things that I am no longer able to do because of diabetic neuropathy. Other issues center around my diabetic retinopathy. I can't see things, can't do things that I used to be able to do and read.
Basically, my family has not been affected by my disease because I try to bake foods that are lower in carbs, but it's something they'll enjoy eating, and I just cut back on what I'm eating of that.
My mother was legally blind. Her brother and her father both had their legs amputated. And that's in my family. That's immediate family of mine.
The people in my life that it has really affected are my family. We've had to change our dietary needs. But with a household full of people with special dietary needs anyway, it was just one more commitment for all of us to get healthy.
Pay attention to it. As I didn't, you have a tendency to go blind, you have a tendency to have no feelings in your hands and your feet. Diabetes is an illness that deals with blood movement. It restricts the flow of blood such that in your extremities, be it your hands or your feet, where the lack of blood emanates and causes the problems. I have now taken my diabetes very seriously. For the most part, I watch what I eat. And number two, I check my blood sugar level about 10 times a day and adjust it to get it down to where it normally would be in a normal person, between about 100 to 120.
What I'm doing to better myself is I do a lot of walking, drinking more water than soda, and just trying to lose weight, but that doesn't always work.
I'm taking insulin 3 times a day. I am certainly cutting out sweets and exercising as much as possible, but I'm not too good at that because I don't walk very well. And I'm trying to do better now that the weather is better. I'm trying to get out and walk a little more, but it's very hard, very hard. So I could do more, but I'm not doing it yet.
My medicinal course of action is metformin, 1,000 milligrams, fast acting, which from my understanding, and I take it twice a day. From what I understand about metformin is not insulin as much as a medicinal device to hyperactivate my pancreas to secrete the necessary insulin when my blood sugar gets high. The other thing that I'm doing to remedy myself is I'm getting out and getting a lot more exercise. Specifically, at lunchtime I go for a walk. It runs me about 1.5 miles, 3-4 times a week, depending upon the weather. And also, I'm eating a lot more healthier. In the words of my physician, my primary care physician, I need to eat more sun food. Food that is grown by the sun. We're talking your fruits, your vegetables, not things that are grown underground. We're talking apples, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. We're talking bananas. We're talking tomatoes and lettuce. Things that you would eat if you were to pick them yourself. So as far as my family is concerned, I'm very sorry to you, but salads have become a way of life for me. I'm primarily treating myself dietarily, and it's working.